All right, ladies and gentlemen, our next guest is a hilarious comedian, old friend of mine, and he's been on the comedy scene for over 30 years. He's done a ton of great things throughout his career and has currently come out of the closet. Yes, he's come out of the closet as a right-wing, Trump-thumping comedian. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, the great, the fabulous Paulie Bond. Paul, how you doing, man?
Hey, what's it been? 20 years?
Yeah, it's been 20 years since the good old days of the Double D show, man. It's good to see you, man. Good to have you back. You look great. I love the microphone, the hat. You look like
Thank
you're ready to
Thank
rock.
you. It's a great mic. It has nothing to do with what we're doing, but it looks fine, don't it? Okay. See?
It looks officially official.
Without it. But I use it because people go, oh, wow, it looks professional.
Well, right now, I've changed. I'm going to reinvent myself while all this downtime's going on and nobody can perform. And I am going to be your physical comedy and musical comedy conservative comic. That's right.
You recently announced, you made this big announcement that you are now going full bore into right wing comedy. Tell me what made you make that decision?
Actually, I'm doing comedy for 30 years, and my hero is George Carlin, as you know. And I got to a point where I started to do some, I guess, self-talk while we were home. We had the time.
Right.
And myself answered back. And I said, you know, everybody's going to be fighting for the same job when this is all over, comedy-wise, or the comedy clubs, you know, the resorts, the casinos.
Right.
What can you do that's different, that doesn't involve any of them, but still create your own venue? And like George Carlin, I want to be true to myself. And I am a Trump supporter. And well, we just lost half the audience right there. So everyone goes, fuck him. All right. So I'm a Trump supporter, and I'm very passionate about it. So I decided to do what's known as the Paul Bond Comedy Rally. That's where like-minded people, Trump supporters, get together who aren't offended by words, who can take a joke, who realize that somebody has to take the hit in order for it to be a joke. To do a black joke, a Spanish joke, an Irish joke, a German joke, any joke, and everybody be like, hey, it's just a joke.
So I'm in Walmart. The kid next to me had his pants below his ass. I mean, below. There was no mystery as to what color, what size, what fabric, and what style underwear this asshole was wearing. The guy in front of me sees the same thing. He looks at me and goes, you see that? I go, yeah, I'm going to fix it. I go, well, listen, this is either going to work or I'm going to get my ass kicked. So I need to know that you got my back. He goes, all right, I got it. I turned to the kid and went, oh my God, nice butt. Well, if you're showing, I'm looking. He lifted his pants higher than my grandfather.
You were like doing mainstream comedy, and like you said, I know you had this epiphany in George Carlin and all that, but you, like you said, you saying Trump these days could turn people off. So to me, it's a big, bold decision to go that route.
You know, it's funny. When I made the announcement back in April on Facebook, I think a lot of my fans were like, why is this a big deal? I don't understand why. Because I just lost any job I want in Hollywood. Being a Trump supporter. Only recently did Anthony Sabato Jr. actually open up a movie company for conservative actors, and he's creating a TV station so you can go on TV. But
our country needs Donald Trump to make us great again.
Up to that point, no, it was just me going, you know, bye-bye to the clubs and create my own stuff. So my fans started booking my show. And
right.
Legion halls and the veterans halls and that kind of thing. And we're starting off small. We're going to build up a following and then and wind up in a theater. But circumventing the clubs.
Right, and that's what I was going to say is because when you do take a stand or go against the grain, yes, a lot of people are going to, metaphorically throw rocks and stones your way, but then there's always a lot of people that will come to your support. Normally, they do it behind closed doors secretly, like, "Hey, Paul, just so you know, I got you." You must have gotten a lot of that as well.
Yeah, well, it's like when I wear my Trump Pence mask into stores. I know the people that want to stay safe distance, but even further when they don't like Trump. But then, there's guys that walk up and go like this with the thumbs up.
But they look around, make sure no one's looking first, right?
But then I had cool moments where I've had veterans come up to me and go, "Thank you," and I go, "Thank you for your support, thank you for your service," and then we start talking, and the next thing you know, I'm talking to the president of the Veterans Halls on Long Island. That happened on Long Island. I said it like that. I could kill myself for doing it. Yeah, but you know what? It's like-minded people. That's all it is, and it's not all political. The show's not all political. It's still silly, Paul. But I get to talk about Pelosi and Schumer and all those people without half the audience going, "Oh." Now I can say, Schumer's a cunt, and everything's fine.
These are very serious charges.
Right. Well, the heat is there was already heat on the Trump issue of being a Trump supporter, and now here we are in this pandemic situation. We're in election year. A lot of shit has gone on this year. 2020 has been insane. Where the debates with people now could cost friendships and things. Have you have you lost any real friends? Like, have you? I know you probably lost maybe some here and but any that bother you?
No. In fact, I call Facebook now "arguing with idiots," and and I've gotten to a point where it took me a couple months to figure this out, but if somebody replies to one of my friends' threads that I'm like, "Oh, this guy's an asshole," I don't go after him anymore. I just block. They don't even know I exist. I'm not even their friend. But I know when I go to my friend's site or Facebook page, I don't have to see that asshole ever again.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I just go into block mode, and it's so freeing, and it's just I don't have to see that asshole ever again, and they would never come to see me anyway. So I'm not losing anything.
They call it a dick because it makes us act like one. Don't you understand? And by the way, the first Richard that said, "You know what, everybody call me Dick from now on," he's an asshole. I just want to go on record. That's like me going, "Hey, I'm Paul, but call me Ballbag from now on." I'll be hanging out with Dick just for the irony.
Does Trump ever upset you, or did you ever say, "No, stop the tweeting," or "Hey, yeah, right, yeah."
It's hard to defend him sometimes because I'm like, oh my God. It's just this guy's trying me out of my fucking mind. Because I know that I open up my Facebook page. "Well, what did you think of that?" And I'm like, yeah, well, he should have shut up. I'm one of the few that will actually say, "Dude, when that it was the thing with the boat rally," and then the guy's a white supremacist.
Oh God! Yeah.
I'm like, dude, that was 10 seconds into it. What didn't you see?
So the president did not hear that phrase in that portion of the video, and when it was signaled to him that this was in there, he took that tweet down.
What I love about your act, man, and I want people to understand, especially if they're just seeing you now for the first time for this show, is that yes, you're a Trump supporter, but you're not a mean-spirited guy. You're very positive guy. Your energy is insane. And everyone will have a great time seeing you live. It's all I would say. You got to go see Paul live. Yeah.
I'm a ball of energy, and I can't stop once I start. People go, "You're doing 45?" I go, "Yeah, that's probably the minimum." But so except in comedy clubs, you got to follow the rules.
Right.
But now, if I'm just doing some local pub or something like that, I'm going. That's what I live for. Every comic lives for that 45 to an hour on stage every day that we can go out there and just let it go. I'll think of 5 ideas in that day and let them blow off on stage. And and see what works, what doesn't work. And it's like giving birth to a new joke. There's no better feeling when you get that first laugh. It's like, yeah, it worked. I knew it would.
Holy shit, I almost passed out. Hold on.
And but I got a lot of new stuff. I got speeches before they were speeches, famous speeches, like the first draft. I fuck around with those.
Love that premise.
It's a good premise, and it works. 7 years ago, it didn't start out that way. So and then I get how it really went and how he got his balls busted. Lincoln got his balls busted. But yeah, I'm trying to write just universal stuff, So even if you come to my show, you'll be amongst Trumpers. But the whole show is not about politics. It's not about politics. I've never been all about that. All I want to do is find my audience now. Okay, I want like-minded people to come together, to relax, to have fun. I grew up with guys like Pryor, Carlin, Kinnison, Buddy Hackett, Don Rickles. Rickles could never survive in a climate. If he started now, would never survive in this climate. No way.
Hi, kid Sammy. You're a black man. I took a guess. If you ain't black, you fell into a bucket of M&Ms, I'll tell you that.
Those are funny, fast and furious, comments that people are like, that's offensive. Don't come to my show because you'll be offended. I guarantee you will be offended. But I also guarantee if you're not easily offended, you will laugh your ass off because I do impressions, I do music, I do it all.
Hey, how you guys doing? What floor you need? 4? I got a couple of good ones for you. 2 hats are on the hat rack. One says, you stay here, I'll go on ahead. Nothing on that one? All right, how about this one? Why did the chicken cross the road? Because Hillary's a cunt.
Oh, that one I like.
That's a good one.
I don't know what he's talking about, but I like it.
What's the difference between my wife and your wife? Well, I fucked your wife. Have a good night.
You know what Carlin said? You know what the government hates? People who think for themselves. That's what he says.
Oh, exactly.
So Groucho and Carlin meet in heaven, and Carlin was an atheist. So at one point, Groucho has to address that.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, because Carlin too. I wonder also what Carlin would have thought about today. Because he was a little bit of a liberal type of a guy. So yeah. I don't think he would have liked Trump. But
politicians, he hated politicians, which makes me think that maybe he's like, you know what? Maybe we do need a businessman in there. Maybe we do need a shit shaker, a shit stirrer in there to stop the nonsense. Right. So I'm on the fence when it comes with Carlin and Trump. He would definitely call him out on his horseshit as far as whatever thing he likes to fabricate and make it exaggerated to be the best. Right. It's always the best ever, the biggest and best ever. Probably hold like a shrimp cocktail, but that's how he overcompensates.
You said I had small hands. They're not small, are they?
But the thing is that Carlin is. I didn't agree with a lot of what Carlin had to say, but he always brought you to the funny, and that's what I loved about him the most. He made you laugh.
That's because there is no Humpty Dumpty, and there is no God. None, not one, no God, never was. In fact, I'm gonna put it this way: if there is a God, may he strike this audience dead.
He made you laugh, and I think he was a brilliant wordsmith. And the way he crafted jokes and all that stuff. So I think George Carlin's awesome as well. He's one of my favorite. He is my favorite comedian of all time. And then Then I love Lenny Bruce.
Well, just trying to make a point, and that is that it's the suppression of the word that gives it the power, the violence, the viciousness.
And Bill Hicks.
I love talking about the Kennedy assassination because to me it's a great example of a totalitarian government's ability to, manage information and thus keep us in the dark any way they do. Oh, sorry, wrong meeting.
So I love that whole line of guys that shake it up, that push that challenge the status quo.
They challenge thought. I mean, Colin did the fun stuff about a place for your stuff and stuff like that. He did great wordplay, but then he made you rethink shit you already thought you had an opinion on. And that's when I go, ooh, look at this guy. He's a shapeshifter. This motherfucker just...
If you kill all the germs around you and live a completely sterile life, then when germs do come along, you're not going to be prepared. And never mind ordinary germs, what are you going to do when some super virus comes along that turns your vital organs into liquid shit? I'll tell you what you're going to do. You're going to get sick, you're going to die, and you're going to deserve it because you're fucking weak and you got a fucking weak immune system.
Ooh. And I like that. And I'm trying to do more of that in my show. And I'm taking more time and emphasis to make people think, but still be silly about it,
We got to learn to laugh again, America. We're getting too serious as a country. Right? Too politically correct. That's right.
Well, you do have a lot of Carlin traits because you like Carlin, like you said, 1 minute he's literally telling fart jokes, and then the next minute he's like into there's no God politics. So like
the invisible man in the sky, like that. Yeah.
Right, yeah, and you have that too. Like you have like your song parodies that are hilarious.
Paul Simon with Tourette syndrome.
So you go from that, and now you can get political.
And that's why we're so uptight. You can't say this, you can't say that. Bullshit. We got kids over in Iraq and in Libya fucking fighting for our rights. That's why we're able to say shit. That's right. Fight for your freedoms and then fucking stomp on my freedoms? Fuck you. I say we laugh at stereotypes once again.
So you kind of slide that in there, and then because you already got the crowd going, they're already laughing, you already got the energy going, and then you could slide in some of your
right. Like I have thoughts like this. How come on the news they always say at the scene, like the car accident, they go, Bob was pronounced dead on the scene. No, it's still pronounced Bob. He didn't change his name. Passed away. If that was the case, then every cemetery would say dead. Used to be Bob, but dead. These are the crazy thoughts I have. And I talk about death, but I do it in a fun way. Like I point out the things we just say because other people have said it. Like we're like robots after a certain point. It's like, oh, Bill, he said it, so that so I guess that's what it is. And you're like,
yeah.
How many times does something have to be said to become an expression? That's something else I discuss. You know what they say. And I'm like, well, I don't know who they are and what gives them the right. You know what I'm saying? I'm listening to them. Why can't it? You know what Paul says? Why can't it be a person?
Right? It's always gonna be they.
Bob, even though he's dead. So I used to come on stage and go, "Hi, I'm Bob from Bob's Furniture," because I look like Bob from Bob's Furniture. No matter where I did it in the tri-state area, people got it every time. Well, I take the hat off. There we go, Bob.
Bob's Bobopedic, from your head down to your feet. It feels like no mattress you felt before.
And I'll tell you the other thing about the guy that really kind of influenced me to speak my mind too is the guy I toured with for a few years, Jim Breuer.
Put your left foot in.
He's fearless. He's just a fearless comic. He will change his entire feel to his show just based on how he feels, and it's
a motorcycle, right? Come off his motorcycle with his S&M outfit. Oh yeah!
I always admired that about Jim. He's just He was just like, wow, he's such a, you watch him and you learn so much. I get my physicality from him and the idea of just speaking your mind, just being silly, going with the moment and taking it to the ultimate end where
Right.
people are wiping their eyes going, okay, he won't stop. He just won't stop, So, but he was he was like a mentor in a sense. It was great to tour with him because I got to open for him. And then I got to play in a band behind him and play soundtrack to a show.
He didn't even have to sing. He just came out and said, yeah, yeah! Yeah!
And because of that, I got to work with Metallica. I was on the Roast of Denis Leary. And on Jim's special, we played the Hokey Pokey, AC/DC style.
Doing the hokey pokey!
Which got played a lot, so I'm on guitar. And quick story about that. We're there that day, and we're signing contracts, we're all the legal shit. And then a guy comes up, he goes, well, you can't play, because we were playing a whole lot of Rosie. That was the Hokey Pokey. It was a parody. And they go, well, we don't have the rights to that song. I was like, well, shit, we got to do this song tonight. So Jim goes, just play chords that sound like AC/DC. So and so, and
they always have a breakdown like this. This looks like a hokey pokey crowd.
It sounded like AC/DC enough. We played it, and sure enough, that's what made the cut.
And it was great. It was a great moment.
You ready?
So with Jim, do you still keep in touch with him? Does he know about your new kind of angle on your career here? And what's his thoughts?
I'm not saying. I don't want to incriminate anybody. It's like your own virus. You don't want to tell any. I don't want to give anybody's name up. Because it's like, oh, so he approves? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
You can't even do that. That's how sick this world is.
It's crazy. Yeah, I would like to think that Jim approves.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So if you're happy and you know it, yeah, ooh, you really want to show it.
All right, so.
I'm very sorry I had to postpone the interview, but during the day I do animal rescue work.
Here's something universal we could all get behind. I am still a rescuer, okay? And I still go out and feed every day. Coronavirus or not, I still have to go feed, and they have to be fed.
And it's very unpredictable, when you're trapping and you're spay and neutering or going for a vet appointment. In fact, if you people are animal lovers, you could actually donate to my cause on my Facebook page. I have a fundraiser right now. So you can go there. All you have to do is click donate. Boom, you're there. If you come to my comedy show and you want to bring cat food, dry or soft, bring it with you. It's like Toys for Tots, but only it's for pussy. But I do it every day. I spay, neuter, house, feed, foster, adopt, and do all the medical. So it's a lot of money. But,
wow.
So we need everybody's help. So if you love animals like I do, go to my Facebook page. $5, $10. I don't care. Everything adds up. So I appreciate that.
Very good. It's for a good cause, everybody. It's for the pussies. If worst comes to worst. Paul Bond, ladies and gentlemen. You're awesome, my friend.
I love you, Dan. Good to see you.
Hey, I love you too, my friend. And this has been great. Definitely want to have you come back more often, like old days, man.
We're going to do it. We'll make some time.
Excellent. Thank you.
Come see my show. I know you're on the fence, so you can come down.
Yeah. Damn right.
Hey, this is the Great Goonin saying you're watching Put Up, Shut Up, and Stand Up with Don Sill on Cubs Radio.
Yeah.